When it comes to vision, few can match Louis Castriota Jr. More important, Louis' relentless implementation of his vision is a lesson in tenacity. Louis began with a fledgling idea to start a therapeutic riding program using his own horses. Fast forward to today, Leg Up Farm features a 50,000 square foot LEED certified green facility offering over a dozen kinds of therapy that has changed the lives of over 800 children and their families. Louis is the founder, president, and CEO of Leg Up Farm. Over the past 13 years, he raised $10 million through private contributions, public fundraisers, grants, and loans. This, despite being denied a $1 million grant many times every year for 9 years, persevering, he got the grant. Louis' ability to inspire his community is best glimpsed in the following example. In 2011, in a blitz involving more than 8,000 volunteer hours, over 1,000 volunteers completed a 20,000 square foot playground in just 7 days. Before launching Leg Up Farm, Louis held media management positions in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Central Pennsylvania. He is active in his community and has received multiple awards, including recently an award for nonprofit innovation in management operations. Louis and his wife, Laurie, reside in New Freedom with their 4 children. Ladies and gentlemen, Louis Castriota Jr.
Did you know that there are more than 10,000 children diagnosed with a special health care need in York County alone?
Yeah, I see that.
If you can visualize, that number of children would fill the York Revolution baseball stadium twice over. At Leg Up Farm, we provide those critical services to help a child in their everyday life. Things like physical therapy, giving children the mobility to move around and to be active and to play, occupational therapy, things that assist them in their daily living, like the ability to feed themselves or get dressed. Speech therapy. Could you imagine, as a child, not being able to communicate that your stomach hurt or that you were hungry? We provide those critical services to children in this community. Recently, Scott Badish from the Autism Society in Washington, D.C. toured Leg Up Farm. He represents the entire country, and he said no one in the country is doing what we're doing at Leg Up Farm. We are the most innovative pediatric therapy center in the country because of bringing together many different types of therapy in the most engaging, child-friendly environment you've ever seen. We use things like gardens to execute and help children to achieve their goals. I had the pleasure of meeting a special little boy named Noah the week that Leg Up Farm opened. I was out in the community. I had a table and I was sharing the services that we offer at Leg Up Farm. And I was approached by Noah and his grandmother and mother. They had just received news from their developmental pediatrician that Noah would never progress beyond an 18 to 24-month-old level. Noah was 5 at the time. If you've ever received that news as a parent, your world is crushed. You You mourn the loss of special moments for your child, but for you also. And you wonder, will they ever go to prom? Or drive a car, or even be able to read and write? And I spoke to Noah, and I told him about all the wonderful things at Leg Up Farm. See, a lot of people think when a child can't respond to you, that they don't understand. But children are often trapped in a body that just doesn't work right. They understand everything that's going on around them. Noah was fragile looking. He was small for his age. He was in a special stroller. Fast forward 2 years later, I was looking out into our riding arena. Noah was participating in therapeutic horseback riding. And he was laughing and giggling. But I looked over and I saw his grandmother with tears streaming down her face. I had no idea what was happening. Everything looked fine to me. So later I asked her. She said Noah did 2 things that he had never done before. The first one, our equine director asked Noah a question. He responded verbally. He had never done that before. The second thing was, he said the word trot. Noah was motivated and engaged. He had never said the word trot before. Noah's grandmother will tell you today, it's as if the therapies at Leg Up Farm have awoken part of Noah's brain. She calls his therapists, Miss Amy and Miss Danielle and Miss Megan, Noah's little angels. Everything about Noah's life has changed today. I haven't seen that special stroller for more than a year. He runs into Leg Up Farm now. He gives our receptionist a big hug. He has more than 50 words in his vocabulary from 5 2 years ago. He's always looking around the corner of the hallway for me to give him a big fist bump and, of course, an explosion at the end. He runs down the hall to engage other children. His self-esteem is better. His life has changed because our people in our community, just like you gave Noah a special gift. Does anyone remember what happened in October 2011? It was the first time it had happened in 80 years. Snowstorm. We started our playground build the day that we got 8 inches of snow. Our volunteers had arrived that day to see 244 little flags sticking out of the snow. The weather was in the 20s. A special moment for a little boy named Sammy, that's 10 years old, was created because of that playground. Now I'm going to take you back to that build because I think it's important to understand what this community means to everyone that lives here. We had engaged 1,000 people to build one of the biggest playgrounds in the country in 7 days. I would have expected nothing less than to start our playground build in 8 inches of snow. Because we're about overcoming challenges and adversity at Leg Up Farm. But let's set the scene. 20,000 tons of structural plastic sitting in the field with snow all over it. Our volunteers worked and and worked and worked. And as the weather warmed up, the snow melted, and we had 12 inches of mud. Anybody in the room here volunteered our playground bill? I know some of your members did. They worked in the mud. 2 people came from the playground build company to help us with 1 sheet of paper that had our playground on it. And I remember a reporter asking them by Wednesday if they thought we would finish this playground build. And he said, "Not likely." We had not even really set posts at that point, halfway through the build. People would step into the mud and lift their foot up and their shoe would come off. There were people that volunteered a shift and they left their shoes behind because they had mud up to their knees. But I said, you don't know the people of York County. And our volunteers called their friends, and I called businesses, and everyone sent more people. And at 5:45 on Sunday night, after 7 days, in the most horrendous conditions you could ever imagine, we cut the ribbon for that playground. A month after that, I was out on the playground enjoying what everyone created. And there was that little boy, Sammy, 10 years old with autism. Now, a lot of kids with autism won't look into your eyes, and they have trouble communicating, especially with their peers. And I see Sammy grab another child's hand and zigzag up steps to a high platform where we have 3 slides. And they locked eyes, and they smiled, and they went down the slide. And again, it was one of those moments. I looked over at Mom, and her head was down as she was pulling a tissue out of her purse. She told me that was the first time in 10 years that Sammy had ever engaged another child to play. That moment, that special moment for Sammy and his mother, was a gift that our volunteers in this community gave that family. Have any of you ever received a special gift? A little box like this, maybe? Now, this is an engagement ring box. Maybe some of the ladies in the room are wondering what the cut is, or the clarity, or is it white gold? Maybe some of the gentlemen in the room remember the knot in your stomach when you were about to give this gift. This gift of an engagement ring, you may have met your soulmate, someone that you're going to share memories with. I was given the most amazing gift. My little girl, Brooke, at a year of age, in 1997, was diagnosed with a special health care need. She had mitochondrial disease and a secondary diagnosis of autism. And to this day, she struggles to walk and to speak. But because of that gift that I received, thousands of children in our community have Leg Up Farm because of a little girl named Brooke. We all have a choice in life. We can look at our obstacles we can look at our gifts. Inside this box is the same ribbon that each of you have at your table. I'd like you to leave with this ribbon today. When you see it in the future, I would like you to think of your gifts, the people in your life, but the gifts you have to share with everyone in the community. Because by sharing those gifts, the world we live in is better for everyone. I'm going to leave you with my favorite quote today. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. So when we leave here today, let's all start dancing. Thank you.